What's going on, y'all? I'm pretty sure everybody knows what's going on with this whole Ime Udoka situation, who is the current head coach of the Boston Celtics. We do know that he did get suspended for the entire 2022-2023 season, which is because of that. It sparked an entire firestorm on social media of a lot of people coming at his head, wondering why would you cheat on Nia Long? Why would you cheat on Nia Long? Now, people would try to bring up her age, which is 51. I don't see that as good enough reason to step out on somebody, and especially after Nia Long told somebody she was, quote, blindsided by this to TMZ. And so basically she had no idea of this whole thing. And this is one of the stories you kind of want to wait till you hear everything before you just make a judgment call, because a lot of people was under the assumption that she knew that this wasn't a secret. In fact, this was a whole affair that she didn't know about, and she's been with Udoka since 2010 or 2011. It's been over 10 years. And some people was looking at, well, maybe he got tired of her, which to me that don't make any sense. Why get engaged to somebody that you're starting to get tired of, and you want to use the she's getting old excuse to cheat? That's a lame duck excuse, if you ask me. Because if he wanted that, he should have came to Nia, had that conversation. If she wasn't going to go with it, y'all end up breaking up, whatever, doing what you need to do. But it wouldn't be so simple as that, because they got a kid together. It would have played a big factor on, like, especially with child support and the like. And we're going to be honest, I don't think it's really any surprise that it would be safe to say that other coaches of other teams and owners in different leagues, whether if it's NBA, NFL, have done this in the past themselves, and people have kept quiet about it. There's no rules that say you can't sleep with your coworker, but apparently it was a team rule that you're not supposed to sleep around with your coworkers, which they said that Udoka violated that. Now, how many other teams have that in the league, we don't know, as well as in the NFL. But it's kind of one of the things, it makes you think, what if the league or if different sports organizations were to issue out a league-wide rule that you can't have an affair or cheat on your wife? Just imagine what would happen if women, like, because we know that women don't like getting cheated on as much as a guy don't like getting cheated on. And people have excuses for cheating, like, you're not the only one that can satisfy me, XYZ. But if y'all at least have that upfront agreement that, okay, you do go out there, do your thing, as long as you live and abide by these rules, don't get her pregnant, no STDs, and don't let her come to me as a woman. And for the most part, women would just have them 3 rules because they know who you are. But my biggest issue with this is when you do all this under the guise of monogamy, and you want to explore your options, if you will, in the guise of monogamy. It's kind of weird. Like, could just had that conversation with her when he started getting popping as the coach of the Celtics, because the Celtics last year went to the finals, and that's one reason why he got hot in terms of popularity. Now, both the NBA and NFL started to have league-wide rules into, okay, you can't sleep around if you're married or if you have a girlfriend. Then you would see a lot of outrage from a lot of people. I'd expect people would probably like to call into question, is this invasion of privacy? But you would kind of have a bit of an incentive to stay in your lane and not cheat. But I think people could use loopholes like NDAs and the like, and money, of course, to kind of keep everything's hush hush. But if it was like to be used as part of not only a league-wide rule, but part of every person's contract, whether it's an all-star player, coach, or owner, that you can't step out of your significant other, then they would have an incentive not to, because it would mean they lose their job. Whether we want to say it's morally right or wrong, it happens. It's a thing. Like, people who are celebrities, they typically have these arrangements all the time. You go do your thing. As long as you know where home is, so to speak, you good. But one last thing, I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics organization decided to upgrade this from a suspension to a firing. And it's because of the media support that Nia Long has been getting, even with her recent comments to TMZ saying that she was blindsided by this. So that's just going to do nothing but fan the flames to try to apply pressure on the Boston Celtics organization to do something about it, because they knew about it for a while. They just kept it under wraps. But when it got leaked out to the public to an unnamed source, then that's when they feel like they had to do something. And I bet you now more than ever, a lot of people are calling for Udoka's head on a plate to get him out of Boston, and not just out of Boston, but potentially not ever coach again in the league. And I think that is a reasonable probability. And if you were to ask me, I wouldn't be surprised with somebody like Nia Long, who still has a lot of power and influence within the industry. She could make a couple calls, call somebody and be like, okay, make sure he gets fired and he never works in the league again. Now, if that was the case, if that happened, that would also be some controversy surrounding that, because people would start to say, well, she's emotional. Why is she in her feelings? Well, it's like this little saying goes, hell hath no fear like a woman scorned. Meaning, if you cheat, she can get back at you whatever way it means necessary. A woman's not going to act natural like a guy would after being cheated on. She's not going to be in her right mind, so expect the unexpected. Expect shit to happen. Expect shit to go left. Expect things to get very nasty, messy, and petty. And her making a few calls to get him fired would be very petty. Not only petty, but a tad bit understandable if you ask me. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Till next time, it's been H-Dog here, and I'm out. Peace.